So walk the talk here, and we are discussing an important thing here, which is how important parenting is for changing Pakistan and for the new generation. Why are all the kids are in front of a computer and craving for attention at 17 years of age and looking for girls at 13 years of age? What are they not having at home?
Parents don't have communication. They don't have an open path of communication with their kids. That's it. It's born, raise up, supply, provide. That's it. Needs and wants. No one remembers compassion, sincerity, honesty.
So what do we have to bring in, Hasnan? What do parents have to be doing, moms and dads, to their kids?
You see, the sad part is that in Pakistan, a child is the way you anchor a marriage. If you don't have a child, you might get divorced. So the prime reason why women want to have kids is that they want to anchor a marriage. That being the first problem. If you listen to a Pakistani mother, if a child cries, she says, "Oh, he bothers me too much." The child is not trying to bother you. The child is crying because the child has a need. Because the mother is self-centric and not family-centric. She thinks of herself before she thinks of her child. In most of the cases, educated families, majority of women are complaining about their kids instead of looking after their kid, So that is that. So A, the child learns to complain. B, the child learns to be selfish. And as a result, you have a society which is actually holding together because of geography and nothing else. So the whole paradigm, as was said, there's no empathy, there's no sincerity. And if you're home and you tell your child, somebody rings the bell, you tell your child, "Hey, tell him I'm not home," you can't expect your child to be honest for the rest of his life.
That's right.
So that is how we teach our child how to lie. And we do it so commonly, we don't even feel it.
Yeah.
So these are the problems that we have at family level. And we try to resolve this by sending our kids to Harvard and MIT. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. So I say basically that once the kids, and bottom line, a lot of people come and ask me stuff on Facebook, right? And their cravings and stuff. And I say that if a mother was properly hugging that kid and holding hands, sitting down and talking, that kid won't be going out early enough to look for girls, because he has somebody at home who he can talk to. But I don't see that this is actually happening. And for girls, if the father is there and does the same, she won't be going out there on the virtual world to look for attention from guys, because that's just completely natural biological things that the opposite sex is what you wanna have a relationship with. I mean, yin and yang. But if your father and mother is not there to do it with you, and then nothing there. And of course, you as a parent, you're doing your best, because this is the family where you grew up, and this is what you've seen. So I believe we have a great opportunity to break that pattern and start teaching parents. Get out of their egos and start shifting paradigms and do it differently. So I believe if we help on that level, a lot of things will resolve here. Morality will come back. It won't lie, isn't it?
It will always come back to you.
Always come back.
Because you've got ranks in families. You've got the mother who's the sweetheart, and you've got the dad. Most families, you've got the dad who's the iron fist.
Iron fist. So how good is that? Raising children.
First, you should have a balanced communication between parents. The husband and the wife, before starting a family, should think about every aspect.
Yeah.
Right? Raising the kid, first having a communication, because what actually happens in most families that I've seen over here, you ask the dad says, "Go ask your mom."
Yeah.
You go to the mom says, "Go ask your dad."
The kid gets confused.
Child's confused. There's a whole cycle here. Right?
Because people don't take responsibility.
Nobody takes responsibility. Making decision.
Exactly.
It's not being democratic in your family. It's about being. It's communism basically.
Communism.
You've got dad as Führer. You've got dad as the Hitler. Right? Most families that I've seen over here, the mom, the mothers usually they scare their kids. It's not. They put fear.
Yeah.
So kids, they don't respect their dad or their mom out of love. They respect them out of fear.
Fear.
It's usually fear. And that is what drives the youth over here too. How do we become rebellious?
Yeah, exactly.
Because we have that, unless, as you said earlier, Love yourself and then you'll start loving others.
Yeah.
Right? You're not taught to love yourself.
Exactly.
So how can you start loving others?
Being rebellious is very natural, you know.
It's
You
natural
have to
when
be
it comes
rebellious
to
because that's how the world grows.
Why? You're rebellious because you have a self.
Exactly.
And if it's suppressed early enough, then you're just rebellious and then you just learn you cannot be yourself. So you suppress it all the way and you believe that I'm not good enough who I am because I am only receiving love only if I am doing exactly what my mom and dad wants me to do.
The whole system is like that. When you go to madrasa, they are taught Quran, you know, and you ask the guy, what does this mean? He says, don't ask, just read.
Exactly.
That's how it starts.
Don't ask, just
Just
read.
read.
They don't answer the question
They don't
why.
know.
Why?
See,
Because
that's
you've got ego problems over here.
They actually don't know at times. They just don't know. Secondly, you know, it's very common here that I smoke, but I'll not smoke in front of my dad.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Why is that? Yeah.
If I respect my father, I should not smoke. If I'm honest, I should smoke in front of my father.
Yeah.
So I live two lives. I lead a life outside my house, and I lead a life in my house. And the same thing happens when you get married. When you get married, you have a life with your wife, and you have a life outside your house.
That's exactly. I see that many times.
So you find a society which is basically hypocritical in nature. You know, and we have found a comfort zone with this hypocrisy. That is where the problem is. The comfort zone is the problem because we are so comfortable with this, we don't want to change.
So women put up with all the guys' stuff, and the guys just keep the girls at home.
Yeah.
Another thing that you have in kids is comparison. You have a lot of comparison in kids.
Sorry?
Comparison.
My kid is better than yours.
Yours.
Or your kid is better than mine. And I'll say this in public, in front of the kid's face, which crushes the kid.
I'll tell you a joke, a real thing that happened. I know two ladies, they're both sisters. One of them goes around telling her son, oh, you're so good, you're great, you're so nice, you're so good, you're so great. He does something really small. And the mother really, encourages him. And the other sister doesn't ever acknowledge her child. One day these two kids, both are like 4 years old, sitting together. And this kid, the kid of the mother who encourages the child, and the kid of the mother who does not encourage the child, they're talking with each other. And the kid of the mother who does not encourage her child says, you know what? Your mother says good all the time. My mother never even calls me medium. And this really happened in my family. So, and the reason why we don't, why don't we say thank you? We never say thank you in this country.
Yeah.
We never say sorry. We never acknowledge that we are wrong.
Especially within the family. Someone said that he can't say thank you and sorry within his family who is closest to him. Yeah. He can only do that for people outside. Now, what kind of a thing is that? Aren't you supposed to be the nicest to the people who are closest to you?
Some of the other, that's not the way it is, because as he said, we are brought in the children are brought up in a society of fear and authority. So for them to stay within those bounds, they are always afraid, and they're always looking to please others rather than being honest.
Yeah, so that's why they don't know how to say no.
My kids, when they come from Toronto, they meet their grandparents here. Their grandparents are shocked when my kids say, no, I'm sorry, I can't do this right now.
Yeah.
They're shocked. So what do you mean you can't do this right now?
I'm busy.
Or, I don't like to eat this. So, they're very shocked because they're not used to people saying no to them.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad because that's the way life is. I mean, you have people who agree with you and there are people who disagree with you.
No, you have to learn from those. Thank you.
Welcome.